All right, all right, all right. You all know why we're here and what we came to do this year. This is only the beginning of a very long season, but Game 1 means just as much as Game 82. Now, we have some new faces here that I really expect to make an impact for us this season. We've already seen flashes of what they can do for us, but I expect all of you to go out there and execute just like we did in camp. Ain't no more excuses. It's time to get serious. If we play our brand of basketball, there's no telling where this team can go. So get out there, get warm, and let's go win this game.
My first NBA game. Can't believe it's finally here. You work your entire life for something, and then when it's right in front of you, it's almost hard to believe. But I'm ready. And now it's time for me to show everybody I belong. And do my best to represent Harlem.
This is it. Opening day. The regular season is set to begin, and we're thrilled to bring you all the live action right here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan. Bench of the first official NBA appearance from Ball.
Yeah, and whether he has friends and family in the crowd tonight or watching at home, I know a lot of people are proud of this young man. He's worked so hard to achieve this goal.
Yeah, and the future's bright for him, Greg. Not just tonight and not just this season, but for years to come.
And sometimes it feels like Brandon Knight is the Rodney Dangerfield of the NBA. The poor guy just doesn't get much respect.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. Through the end of last season, he'd already been on 3 teams in 5 years. On one hand, it may be disrespectful, but teams recognize his ability, too.
Felton attacking. There's the dish to Barea. That's short off the rim.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
And it's Freak missing. Dallas has gone 1 of 5 from downtown in the first quarter. Points out there have been hard to come by. Barea with it. Out defended by Freak. Now here's Barea. Not a lot of room. The shot by Powell, no good. The Suns leading. Now here's Freak. Chandler kicks to Knight. McGee with the block. Now Barea at the elbow. It's Felton. There's the pick. McGee a screen. Parsons right side. That's good, and so Felton has the assist there. And it's all knotted up.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
Now here's Tucker, covered by Parsons. Knight wide open. Again, the miss by Knight.
And even though he missed that, you have to take those shots when you get the opportunity.
Exactly. They don't come much better or easier than that.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
Puts it up from 17, and the jumper is on the mark. Knight's got his second bucket of the night.
You start hitting a few of those mid-range shots, and it can open up your whole game.
It's all tied in Phoenix. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. Well, earlier we sat down with Freak and asked him about playing in his first NBA game. You know, Clark, you don't see that kind of perspective from most rookies, do you?
You really don't, Kevin. I mean, I really like
Completely new group on the floor. 1:30 left to play here in the half. Ball, he's in at point guard. Chandler out there with John Lewis. Then it's P.J. Tucker, and it's Knight in at the 2 spot. That's who's out there for Phoenix. And let's get your guys' take now on the hustle stats for Dallas.
Great hustle defensively through the first half, contesting everything and racking up the block shots.
Yeah, another thing they've done well, guys, is getting in the passing lanes. They've been active with their hands, feet have been in good position, and they've come up with a lot of steals. That's making a difference here, too.
And Lure drops them both.
Well, you know, the Mavs made the playoffs last season, but they really had a hard time against the rest of the Western Conference contenders, in part because they struggled defensively. Offensively, they were pretty good, but they didn't quite come up with enough stops when they needed them.
1:04 left here in the second. Freak kicks to Lure. Chandler outside. Good ball movement here by the Suns. 6 to shoot. In the corner, it's Freak. Out of bounds. Dallas will take possession. Greg, you talked about what the Mavs did, how they played against the West. 29-23 record against the rest of the conference.
Yeah, but Kevin, it's a little misleading, the win total. I mean, if you look at the Mavs against the teams that they compare themselves to, which are the playoff teams in the West, they were only 10-18 over the course of the season.
Good point. Parsons, right side. Williams attacking. Lets the 3 fly. That's good from Parsons on the assist by Williams. And it's a 10-point Dallas lead.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of it.
Now here's Freak. He's guarded closely. Lets it go from deep. No luck. Here is Felton. He's got 6. Over in the corner, Williams. And it's good off the back rim and in. Williams has got 8.
And I like the job they've done with working the basketball. They've been moving and getting quality shots.
And, Greg, their field goal percentage reflects that. I mean, they've been the much better team.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback. Field group getting ready for Dallas. 1:16 left to play here in the third. On the floor for Dallas. Matthews out there with Powell. Then there's Felton. Then there's J.J. Barea, and it's McGee in at the 5 spot. Chandler with the steal. Fast break, here come the Suns. Freak with the ball. It's stolen by Barea. There's 49 seconds left to play in the third. And guys, what a spark plug J.J. Barea has been throughout his career. When he comes in the game, you can feel the lift. We saw a couple games against Houston in the playoffs. Saw it back in 2011 in the championship season for the Mavs.
That's a great point. I mean, he has an energizing effect on his teammates.
Suns trail by 21. Ball in at point guard. Archie Goodwin out there with John Lewis. Then there's Len, and it's Price in at the shooting guard position. That's who's out there for Phoenix. There's the pick. Here's Ball. That's in, coming off an assist from Price. Ball makes the bucket. An important momentous occasion for this young guy, getting his first points in an NBA uniform.
For me, my favorite memory of Barea, his outstanding postseason in 2011. The Mavericks had to get through the Lakers and the Heat to win their first championship. And Barea broke down those defenses by streaming to the hoop every chance he got. Actually, he squirted to the hoop.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for the Mavericks.
Clark, their shot blocking turned out to give them a big advantage in this game.
Well, they were disciplined and focused, I thought, all game long, Kevin. Excellent defense around the rim.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And at key points in this game, they stayed committed to their brand of basketball. That's why they'll be taking the front end of this 3-game season series against the Suns.
And when you look back at this one, what an amazing performance this was for Nowitzki. You can't look back at too many major moments in this game and not see his imprint put all over it.
Tyson Chandler is checked in for Alex Len.
And getting back to Barea's contributions against the Lakers back in 11, Barea led a fourth-quarter comeback in Game 2 to help the Mavs win. Big swing in that series. And then after the game, Kobe Bryant said that Barea kicked our you-know-whats. And ultimately, Barea helped the Mavs go on to win their only championship.
And it comes off the front of the rim.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You've got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
From deep three-point range, and it's Freak missing. Here's Dallas. Well, for the Mavericks, they can just run out the clock. Outside Williams. Here's Powell. Anderson outside. So we see the Mavericks taking the win here. A resounding victory for...
We got to forget about that one.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Let's quickly move. Dirk Nowitzki. He put his team on his back and carried them as we've seen him do before. And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.
Yeah. Ay. Yeah. Ay. Yeah. Voice. Yeah.
Steph Curry and the Warriors next game. I've been looking forward to this for a while now. You know they'll be running and gunning. And Steph's going to do 2 or 3 things that make you want to stop and stare. But we can't let that distract us. Because if we lose focus for even a second, they'll be up 20. So maybe it's up to me to put on a little show of my own.
Looking at the last game for the Phoenix Suns, it was a loss to the New Orleans Pelicans. And guys, the hometown fans not pleased with that dreadful performance. They saw their team get knocked out cold.
And you don't have to go too deep into the box score to figure out why they lost that one. They just had an inability on that day to make shots.
You know, sometimes we talk about a defense getting into the heads of the opposing players, Greg, but that night they got up in their own heads, just got in their own way and couldn't get out of it.
Boys, nice run.
So Phoenix will get the first possession. Now Golden State's starting 5. On the wing, Thompson and Iguodala. And we're about a minute into the second quarter of play. And for the Suns, Ball, he's in at the point. Then out there with John Lewis. Then there's Brandon Knight, and it's Warren in at the small forward. And so the ball out of bounds. Bogut touched it last. Suns leading by 5.
And guys, nice to see Bogut out there given all the injuries that he's had to overcome in his career. Just glad to see him at full strength.
And for the Warriors, Thompson and Iguodala on the perimeter. The defensive stalwarts, Green and Bogut, are down low. And it's Curry in at the point. Here's Curry following the basket by Freak. Green passes to Iguodala. Green with a screen for Iguodala. And the wide open shot from Green. The pick gave him all the room he needed, and he knocks down the J. You know, Bogut, as I recall, Clark was so distraught by those injuries that at one point he thought he might retire.
Yeah, he gave some serious thought to packing it in after the 2013 season, Kevin. Luckily for his team, though, he worked through it and is as strong as ever at the defensive end.
Here's Freak following the basket by Draymond Green. And the shot is good.
Wow, got that one off right in the face of the big fella. Nice quick fire release.
Yeah, and the mid-range shot really the only option in that situation. Sometimes when you're facing a bigger guy, you can't get it all the way to the rim.
Bogut dishes to Curry. Shot is off.
I tell you what, he'll get some of those hustle points if he keeps boxing out like that.
And Phoenix pushing it up now. And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a three-point play. Going to the line for 1.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
And some changes here for the Warriors. Festus Ezeli comes in for Andrew Bogut. And it's Livingston in for Thompson. Free throw good. Lure.
You know, the Phoenix Suns played well overall last season, but they still couldn't match up against some of the teams in the West. Had a hard time with in-conference battles.
Offensive rebound.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
And here's Freak. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. And now Iguodala running the floor all by himself.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
And for the Suns last season, Greg, they ended with a record 21-31 against the Western Conference. It's something that you can point to, Greg, as a reason they failed to make the postseason.
Great point, Kevin. And the big problem for the Suns were the other Western playoff teams. Only went 8-22 against the top 8 in the West.
What a season for Alex Len last year. Came in looking to find a spot for the team, and he made huge jumps in his game.
And I think it correlated with his minutes going up as well. I mean, played a lot more minutes, and he's a very complete big guy. With the added minutes, the production has gone up as expected.
Archie Goodwin, he's checked in for Brandon Knight. The Warriors also with a sub. Verjau's checked in.
You know, you can expect young big men to improve over time, but I didn't think anyone expected Len to jump ahead so fast.
Now here's Freak. He's guarded closely, and Curry pulls it down. Warriors trail by 6. Releases from 15. That is good. Livingston's got his first points in this one.
And a final remark, guys, on Len. I mean, his defense was the big benefactor. I mean, he was a force in the paint and developed into a really solid rim protector.
And it's Freak missing. The Warriors have gotten just over 50% of their shots to drop here in the second quarter. They're 5 for 9. Here's Curry, and another basket for Golden State.
Well, this here is a game. Good run to close the gap.
Yeah, they've done a great job to get back within striking distance. Really a solid comeback effort here.
And that one's good. Freak.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
And Steph Curry, not just a superstar player, but one of the best contracts in basketball this year and next for under $24 million combined. And you can bet he's due for a major increase in pay when 2017 rolls around.
And the Suns with a completely new group on the floor. The Warriors making a switch here. And the first half is now in the books. The Suns on top, up by 6. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Well, Tyson, coming off the loss in the last game, it seems like you guys are playing with a renewed intensity here tonight. What's...
Okay, guys, we got a few minutes here. Let's go over a few things before we get going again.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Really some changes for Phoenix. Goodwin comes in for Warren, and Freak subbed in for Booker. Estes Ezeli, he's jacked in for the Warriors. Barnes comes in for Andre Iguodala. Ball in at point guard. Archie Goodwin out there with John Lewis. And it's Alex Len, and it's Knight in at the 2 spot. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Suns. Curry kicks to Green. Good, and Curry gets the assist. Curry's got 5 assists tonight.
And how about that, responding to the three-pointer against them with a quick one of their own.
Terrific little tay-to-tay going on right now. Back and forth, here we go.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but, boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Here's what Phoenix has got going on right now. Tyson Chandler is checked in for Len. Mirza Teletovic comes in for John Lewis, and it's Eric Bledsoe in for Brandon Knight. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. While we have a quick chance here, let's now take a look at some point guards who have been dead on target from the floor over the course of the past 10 games. Steph Curry 4th.
Some remarkable shooters in that group. I mean, you know that when you're seeing those types of numbers at the point guard position, you're talking about some very intelligent and patient players.
In addition to being unbelievably gifted shooters. I mean, these guys have some of the smoothest, sweetest strokes in the NBA, which means they have some of the best strokes in the world.
And the Suns making a change here. Tucker's checked in. Anderson Varejau's checked in for Golden State. Livingston comes in for Curry.
It's got to be nice for them to know that game in and game out, his offense is going to be there for him.
To the paint. It's tipped. Here's Chandler, and he dunks it down.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the 2-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
Here is Livingston, guarded by Bledsoe. Here's Thompson, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's going to be on Freak.
And remember Klay Thompson's father, Michael Thompson, a former #1 pick out of Minnesota. Growing up, he was the smallest of his brothers, and thereby.
So it's the Suns taking the W in a close one. What a show they've.
Well, Brandon, certainly a nice win, aided in large part by your ability to get your teammates involved.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Thank you, Kevin, and now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Brandon Knight. He found his rhythm in the second half, and there was no stopping him then. He was locked and loaded.
His play tonight, Ernie, was fun.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure.
Tell you about Vic. He has his bad rap. It's not.
let's get it all in perspective. For all y'all enjoyment, a song y'all can step with. Y'all appointed me to bring rap justice, but I ain't 5-0, y'all know it's Nas, yo. Then a whole lot of only describer.